And we are live once. We're good? Okay, let's try this again. We are live once again. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Prince Magnum channel where hot rodding and romance do coexist. I'm your host, Prince Magnum. Welcome to another live stream of Sober Talk. One of my favorites, one of my favorite. Hey, what's going on, gamer and think different? My goodness, so many people already showing up for this live stream. This is fantastic. I mean, this is going to be awesome. Gamerin, you missed it yesterday, our live stream yesterday. I gave a special shout out in your direction because here in the United States, we're coming up on Memorial Day, and that is another day for our kind of dedicated to our veterans here in the United States. And I shouted you out as well because I know even though you're across the pond, I know full well that well the UK, United States, Australia, Canada. I know we're all allied, so I shouted you out too. You know. Queen B, Miss Queen B. Well, welcome to the live stream. Your question's being answered today. We're going to answer your question from. Thank you so much, Queen. We're going to answer your question today. Before the live stream, I was kind of sitting down, kind of getting an idea where I was going to start talking and different things like that. And it's going to be an awesome stream today because I get to go to the book. What's going on, Third Gen 83? Oh man, welcome to the live stream, buddy. I have to wait until Princess Faye gets home, but I also have a very special surprise for all of you. A very special surprise because in this sober talk, I also have an unboxing too. This is a very special, a very special, sober talk because not only do I get to talk about sobriety and what it's done for me and things like that, but I also get about some of the, I guess you could say, a very big blessing of mine in sobriety, the fact that I have all of you part of my life and helping me get through some pretty tough stuff. Right now I can't get to AA meetings like I used to, and that does present a few challenges, I guess you could say. If the pandemic wasn't going on, I would actually be able to go to an AA meeting every Monday night on my nights off, but I can't do that. Which, I mean, they got the conference call thing, but I usually anymore get hung up. So unless I've planned to go to an AA meeting, I don't get to do the conference calls usually. Usually I'm playing catch up with other stuff, but that's okay. We still got our sober talk and we still got the live streams and everything like that. But right over here, I have something very special that we're going to get to unbox here in just a bit. Our boy Third Gen 83 sent something for Project Spirit. Check that out. I don't think he sent any aircraft remover. That is awesome. But yes, so we have an unboxing as well. This particular, I know, even though it's for Project Spirit, that's funny. Project Spirit gets presents. That is so awesome. I cannot wait to see what's in here. So we are going to do an unboxing in this particular. This is just one of those amazing blessings that I get to say, if it wasn't for me being sober, I wouldn't get to do something like this. So this is important. That tells me right there, that I'm doing what's right. I'm doing the next right thing, and that's important. So we get to answer a big question because I live if you will, I'm in recovery, living in a world of alcohol. It's all around me. So I need to answer some questions. What's going on? Go Times, welcome to the live stream. We got a big sober talk. You're going to love it, man. It's going to be a lot of fun. Uh, man, it's going to be an exciting one. I am so excited for this particular live stream. The last two sober talks have been huge. I mean, ginormous, and telling my story and everything. And I was sitting there telling Princess Faye, I said, as powerful as those streams were, even if no one had been in that live, I said, even if they, we didn't had half, I said, honestly, I felt really good about those particular streams. I said, it felt very positive. And I said, it felt good, it felt good. She's like, that's all that mattered. Hey, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. You guys are awesome, and as we're kind of waiting for that, we get to about that 10-minute marker when we do the true, when we kick it off. Let me say again, um, I had a miracle happen to me today. I woke up today and I found it not necessary to take a drink. Any day that happens, it is still a miracle. It is, I mean, that's what it's all about. We, you find one more reason not to pick up another drink. And you guys help me with that. You guys help me with that. I don't do this alone. I don't do this without help. Okay. Recovery is a personal journey, but I don't go alone. And the fact that you were all here and the fact that you are helping me stay sober, is just amazing. So we're going to really dive into this one because Queen Bee, you asked a big question yesterday. I love the question you asked because I live in a world where there is alcohol all around me. And unfortunately, I have to learn to live in that world because if I don't learn to live in that world, I will get drunk. So you asked a really big question, and it is one of my favorites because even in AA meetings, every once in a while, even I have to answer this in an AA meeting, and that should tell. I mean, even in sobriety, it is it is still tempting. It is still tempting, and I'm not going to lie. As an alcoholic, I still think about it a lot. Well, that's an interesting name, and I appreciate the like. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. I don't know what to think of the name, but I guess we all have our things that kind of get under our skin. And, like me, people that tailgate and things like that. So, anyhow, regardless, welcome to the live stream and welcome to the Prince Magnum channel. Currently, right now, I'm topping off. Yeah, I know. Yeah, well, you never know. So, regardless, you know, regardless, it is still going to be a fantastic live stream where we talk about sobriety. Don't worry, moderators, I think I know what he's okay. Don't worry, guys. I trust my wrench. Yeah, I know. I trust you guys at the wrench. You know what to do in case anything gets out of hand. I'm not worried about nothing. But I think I know what I see what it is. Look at how he's basically spelled it and all of that. I see what it is. Okay. He likes people who are real and not anything but I get it. It took me, so once you said that, it's like ding, 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 the light bulb went off. So the name kind of threw it, but I get it now. Okay, regardless, we know why we're all here today. We are here for a sober talk. What's going on, Harold's random videos? Oh, filming, you snuck in on me. Filming, the ultimate grave taker. Man, we got all sorts of awesome people. Man, y'all coming in and hanging out with good old Prince Magnum and a sober talk. Man, that is fantastic. Man, there you go. There you go. That's what's up. The blessings for all of us just keep coming today. The blessings just keep coming today. That is, you know, uh, that's what's up. All righty. We got my original big book that I got back when I first got sober. I just marked off a couple of quick pages that we're gonna need. We got filming here. We got a heck of a crowd tonight. However, I cannot open this box just yet till Princess Faye gets home, but we're gonna dive into this. And when she gets home after a good little bit, we're gonna crack open this box right here for this unboxing. Well, to our dear friend, I don't know how to, I don't feel comfortable saying the name out loud. So I guess you could say to our dear friend, I'm not 100% comfortable with the name. Saying that out loud, because I don't, I'm not in the same boat you are. I mean, I know what you kind of had to deal with, but I want to answer your question. Okay. Okay. Brother Hate, I'll tell you, I have been a sober. Oh, okay. I understand. I understand. And sometimes, it's one of those things. One of these times when you're making that first account, you're making that first account. Next thing you know, you're sitting there going, "Well, shoot, yeah, that wasn't exactly." Oh well. Anyhow, brother, hey, let me tell you. uh, Let me say, I have been a sober member. Now, this is what I mean by it. I have been a sober member of Alcoholics Anonymous since February 7th, 2006. So when I say a sober member, I haven't touched any alcohol. I haven't touched any drugs since February 7th, 2006. So as of February 7th this year, I have been a sober member of Alcoholics Anonymous for 14 years. I haven't touched a drop. I haven't touched any drugs, nothing. Okay. Unless a doctor prescribes it or um, or it's over the counter, then I don't touch it. Okay. And even if it's over the counter, I have to take it as it says on the label. Okay. We have kind of these strict, I wouldn't say they're strict rules in AA, but it's kind of, I guess you could say, guidelines, strict guidelines of what is sober. Well, I hope that my story inspires as many people as possible. I got asked a question. Yesterday, and I was like, "There's tomorrow's," and it was our dear friend Queen Bee who's sitting in chat, and she asked me the question, "How do I basically how do I live around alcohol and not be tempted?" And and I want to answer that question today, and I'm going to answer it to the best of my ability today. Along with that, we're also going to have an unboxing. If you're not Leonard Shade, okay, thank you, Harold. Appreciate you dropping that in there. If my story can help one person, just one person, get sober today, then it was well worth it. Okay. And so we go live every Thursday night and we talk about sobriety. And we go live every night at 7 o'clock Central Standard Time US. Because in other countries, I don't know what time zone it might be called in your country, if you're, across the pond or whatever, in either direction. So that's why I always say, you know, Central Standard Time US. So we are going to answer Miss Queen Bee's question. Along with that, we're going to have an unboxing that our friend Third Gen 83 sent up some goodies for my 1975 Ford Maverick four-door, better known as Project Spirit. This is a daily driven classic. I still drive this car every day. I didn't move her into position today for us to go out and take a walk around. I should have, but I didn't. That's okay. Because sometime this week we will be doing that. And the reason why we're doing it, even though it's not do-it-yourself budget hot rodding, Third Gen 83 and I became friends because of what my sobriety had done for me, and and then the Prince Magnum channel and everything like that. What basically it brought us together as friends. That's what Alcoholics Anonymous did for me, and it gave me a wonderful friend that lives almost all the way across, halfway across the country here on YouTube, and I couldn't be, I very blessed. Okay, very blessed that you know that I have been given this. Been given this blessing, another friend in my recovery, even though he's not a member of AA. I guess you could say friends of Alcoholics Anonymous were made that day. So there you have that. All righty. So again, Princess Faye will be home just shortly, and then we can dive into our box. But let's get onward and upward. Again, my sober date is February 7th, 2006. So it's been over 14 years. What's going on, Blucky? Welcome to the live stream. Welcome to Sober Talk. Oh, real quick, brother Hate, you will find that a lot of people love Sober Talk. Sober Talk is a very positive. I mean, most of my streams are usually pretty positive, unless I have to kind of go into that, have to kind of tell people some things that they need to know, kind of that how this is really how it is, and nobody talks about it. So you'll kind of catch on to that. So, so you guys kind of catch on to all that, but that series, In Your Face, is going away at the end of this year, but Sober Talk will not. There for a long time, though. A lot of people weren't. Hey, what's going on? Pinky Ness Green. Welcome to the live stream. I know where Pinky and Ian are right now. It is like late at night for them. Okay. And the fact that they're in here, in the middle of the night for them. Thank you guys. I appreciate that. On the old Pontiac. Oh, you're talking about Project Lena? Yes, actually, coming later on this, coming up later on throughout the summer, we're actually going to be customizing both the Pontiac and, better known as Project Lena, and then, of course, Project Spirit. So we're going to do both cars throughout the summer. And currently, right now, I'm actually getting ready to purchase a MIG welder so I can fix the rust myself on Project Spirit. And Princess Faye, I know sometimes she's kind of figuring out how she wants to do the pinstriping, but she's going to be doing pinstriping, redoing the pinstriping on Project Lena. You guys are going to love it. Oh, it's Friday morning for you guys? Oh, wow. And the fact that you guys are in here. Thank you so much, Ian. And thank you so much, Pinky, for coming in here. You guys are awesome. Thank you. You guys mean the world to me. All right, let's get to answering answering the big question. All right, I'm going to tell y'all now, honest up front. When I was, that's all right. I didn't fully know that one. I probably did, but it's like I'm brain dead anymore. I'm just kind of shooting in one direction and going hard. So you'll have to, anyhow. Okay, let's talk about none other than my sobriety. The first thing I need to talk about is yeah, I suffer from it big time, and it's getting worse as I get older. Okay, now let me say right now, when I first got sober, we all know that I went through withdrawals, and we talked about in the last couple of live streams where I was going through withdrawals, and how I would experience the shakes and I would just go through the cold chills and everything. And it was a horrible time. That was my body screaming out for alcohol. Okay. More in particular, well, I mean, there's a whole medical sense behind it. What was really kaboom, you know, and I experienced all of that. Um, Now, after that 6 months was over, I'm not going to lie to you, and even before then, the thought of drinking would come into play every now and again. All right. I'd be, even now, I'll be standing there working on whatever I'm working on at work. And I'll be sitting there thinking, gosh, a bottle of Crown Royal would go really great right about now. Or, a bottle of Absolute vodka would go great right about now. And I don't lie to myself. See, most alcoholics, they'll say, I could go for a drink right about now. What'll pop into their head. This guy, I'm actually honest with myself. I know if I have that one bottle, I'm not going to, if I get handed that one bottle, I'm not going to have just one. I'm going to have the whole bottle. I don't lie to myself, okay? That is awesome, Lucky. I'm glad that you have it. I mean, if you're trying to stay sober and that sort of thing, and man, that is fantastic. I'm glad you're doing it. You're doing you're doing the do. Now, so I mean, for me, when I get up every day, I mean, there are thoughts. I'm not going to lie, the thoughts are still there, and I'll be going throughout the day, and at least a dozen times a day, I'll actually, a drink would go good right about now. I usually grab a cup of coffee. Not a lie. Okay. So yes, I still deal with alcoholism daily. It is still there, and it's still alive and well. However, what changed that process? What changed in my, I guess you could say, my recovery? What had to happen in my recovery is the fact that in trying to get sober. That's right. Lucky remembers what I said. Remembers what I said about our boy Ian, Mr. Gamerin, yesterday. He's a. We'll mention that again. We'll mention that again. But anyhow, what had to happen in my recovery is I had to go through the 12 steps. Now I know. I'm going to be honest with you all. In most cases today, people come into Alcoholics Anonymous and they think, okay, I'm here. I'm going to stay sober. And they don't think they have to do anything. Folks, that is not the way it works. I wish it was that easy. When I came in, they were open and honest, said I was going to have to do some work if I wanted to stay sober. If I wanted to stay sober, I had to do some work. And what did I have to do? I had to get a sponsor. I had to get a home group, which I need a new home group. Probably looking at Monday nights now, but I had to get a home group. And I had to get, Gamer, and it's a big compliment for you, Ian. It's a big compliment for you. Okay, we're going to talk about that a little bit later in the stream. That's right. See, he knows. He knows. Blucky actually knows because of the shout out yesterday. We're going to give you another shout out today because you're here today and you have earned it. You have more than earned it. Now that I've let's see, so a lot of people that come into Alcoholics Anonymous, they think that you come in, you get sober. It doesn't work that way. Basically, you come in, as an old timer would say, you don't just come into Alcoholics Anonymous and get the program by pulling up a chair and getting it through osmosis. It doesn't work that way. The way you get Alcoholics Anonymous is you come in, you sit down, you listen to what we have to say, and you take our suggestions. And our suggestions are: you get a sponsor, you do the work out of the big book, and you get a home group, you get involved in service. No, you didn't. Um, that's what he's talking about. Um, Ian, okay, let me stop for a moment. I'm going to take a moment here. Um, for our boy, Mr. Gamer and BRFC, who is in chat right now. Here in the United States, we're coming up on what is known as Memorial Day, and it's a big shout out, across the country and around the world for some of our veterans. And the way they work it out, regardless, it's for the veterans and for our troops that are still in active service, regardless how you want to look at it. We have 3 days for them and remembering them and everything like that. However, our dear friend who is in chat right now, Mr. Gamer in BRFC, is a veteran, not of any service here in the United States, but he is a veteran of Her Majesty's Royal Marine Corps. So, because we're coming up on Memorial Day, I want to give a big special shout out to our boy, Mr. Gamerin BRFC, who served his country, and the United States is allied with Great Britain, the United Kingdom. So it's only fitting that someone here in the U.S. give a big special shout out and a big special thank you for his service, Mr. Gamer and BRFC. Thank you so much for what you have done. Okay, because I know, and let me say right now, our dear friends across the pond in Her Majesty's Royal Marine Corps is some very tough son of a guns. Okay, they are tough. They're rough, tough, and hard to bluff. And Gamerin is one of those fine men that served in that branch of his country's armed services. So, and yes, I did too. That was so awesome. Thank you for those videos. So, as a big thank you for everything that you have done, Gamerin, I wanted to give you a big special shout out in this one. We did it yesterday, but you're here today, and I want to do it again. Make sure that you know that we all love you. That we all love you very, very much. And I will say it again. Mr. Gamer and BRFC is one of our most illustrious, members in the Maverick Nation. He is one of our shining stars that is a member of the Maverick Nation. And he's. Don't you ever forget that we love you very much, and the fact that that you are one of us. Is just an absolute joy to this guy right here. Hands down, bar none. Thank you, Gamerin, for being a member of the Maverick Nation. All right. So, as I was talking about, in dealing with, basically everyday temptation, in dealing with everyday temptation, Alcoholics Anonymous has taught me out of the gate that I had to do the work. Okay. And you've heard me say it before that recovery is a personal journey, but I don't go it alone. That's where the sponsor comes in. What's going on, Mr. Cartoon? Welcome to the live stream. Welcome to the Prince Magnum channel. Okay. You guys are amazing. Hands down, bar none. You guys are awesome. Okay. Kind of a heads up. We have someone in chat right now. They kind of chose a risque name, but they have been nothing but cool, guys. Been nothing but cool. So just relax. Just relax. I imagine it was one of those. Have you ever made a name for something and then you're sitting there thinking, I probably shouldn't have done that? Well, this is probably going to be one of those moments. Go easy on them. Because they explained earlier on in the stream how the name came about. So just go. It is not a troll. It's not a troll. They have been nothing but nice. So don't relax the wrenches. Okay. If they've been nothing but cool, let's go. Let's roll with it. All right. Just because of the name doesn't necessarily mean that they're bad people. Okay. There's obviously a reason behind it, and he explained it earlier on in the stream. And once I read it, I totally got it. I actually understood what is going on, okay? and it is getting warm in the office. So go light, guys. All right. Yeah, he was part of his name. It's part of his name, Blucky. It's part of his name. Okay. Mr. Brother Hate. Yeah, I know. It was okay. Mr. Hate, it was a misunderstanding. The name's throwing everyone off. We had a problem with a troll a couple weeks ago. Someone who was just coming in being very, very hateful. And, so stick around. The timeout will go away. Just relax. Uh, I apologize for that. Basically, the gang is watching out for me, okay? They're just watching out for me. I think you can understand that. And that's why we have our moderators, is they watch out very closely for me during these live streams. So just stick around, and I apologize for that because, yeah, they're just being very protective of me. So, and that just shows me how much wonderful, how many more blessings that sobriety has given me. Okay, so let's continue onward. Now, when I'm talking about working the steps are in what's going on, the amazing LSB? Okay, what were we talking about here in Sober Talk? If you remember yesterday, Mr. Cartoon, we were talking about how, we were talking yesterday, if you remember, Queen asked the question, asked the question of, how do I, basically, Princess Faye has alcohol in the fridge. How do I live with it in my own home? And I'm going to actually answer that. I'm actually going to answer that question today. And then we're also going to have an unboxing for Project Spirit. Another amazing blessing. Okay, but I can't do that till Princess Faye gets home. Okay, so let's, again, kind of a heads up. Moderators, Maverick Mechanics. Yeah, we'll get to that later. We'll get to that later, brother. But Maverick Mechanics, kind of a heads up. We do have someone who's kind of timed out right now because of a misunderstanding. We do have someone who is in the who's in the live stream. Their name is going to throw you off. It's going to look bad, but so far they have been. I know. It looks bad, but so far they've been nothing but kind. So go easy. It was one of those things. It looks like when they explained themselves early in the live stream, I totally got it, and I understood the situation. So once they said it, and explained the reason behind the name, and it's like, I got it, because as a member of Alcoholics Anonymous, believe it or not, believe it or not, there are people that come into Alcoholics Anonymous who've been in jail and in prison. And when he said, some of the things he's had to go through, I actually understood what he's experiencing. And, because I'm listening to some of the stories in Alcoholics Anonymous and seeing what's on, so I understood exactly. Yeah, I do apologize. So I understand your name. Guys, go easy on him. The name, it isn't what you think. It isn't what you think, okay? Yeah, calm down. I actually understood it. Easy, guys. Easy, okay? Easy. Calm down, guys. Easy does it. Don't throw them out. Calm down, guys. Calm down. Calm down, guys. I just went in and fixed it. Calm down, guys. Yeah. Calm down, guys. Read what he just said. Read what he said. Calm down. Yeah. He actually explained it to me. Calm down, guys. Calm down, okay? Okay, you'll have to go into your account and change it. But yeah, I calm down. It's okay, guys. It's okay. She should be. She had to stop off at Walmart and pick up a couple of things, so she'll be home shortly. Calm down, everybody. That's what I was talking. It is not a troll. It's not a troll. Okay. Okay. It's not a troll. It's not a troll. It's okay. Calm down because he explained himself. All right. Yeah. So you were stuck inside for 10 years. That's how I understood it. I understood it. And we've all made that mistake where we did something and then we're like, maybe I shouldn't have named it that way or expressed it that way. That's what's happening. Let's take it easy. Deep breath. That's right. Thank you, Mr. Cartoon. So, if you will, yeah, it's okay. It's okay. Everybody is all cool. Just relax. You know, what's going on? Cookie Vision today is in the live stream. Okay, so let's continue on with the topic at hand. Everyone, just chill out. The person that's in chat, it looks like a troll, but it's not a troll, and it was just kind of it's okay. See what I mean? See what I mean? And so that's what it is. It was a joke, and we didn't get it. We all have those jokes with a friend. Okay, so that's really awesome, and I learned something today too. Okay, there you go. See, and Mr. Car, yeah. So I get it. I get it. So all right, hang on a second. Let me grab my backup device, and we'll see. I've never had to change my. See, there you go. Thank you, Ian. Thank you, Ian. Okay, so remember, Ian, we have that one troll, and it turned out really, really bad, and we had to deal with all that stuff, and yeah, whoo. All right, so let's get back to the task at hand. All right, because I want to answer this question. So basically, through working the steps. By the way, thank you again for Cookie Vision jumping into the live stream. When we're talking about when we're talking about working the steps, basically, I mean, I had to sit, and you all remember me saying that Soberman kind of sat me down, and he asked me why I wanted him to sponsor me, and I told the whole story, which now I'll tell it again. When I sat down in Soberman's place for the first time, and Soberman is the name of the guy that the nickname of the guy who. There you go. Where I live, there you go, man. Now that is a big compliment. Thank you. Wow. Thank you so much. It's a big compliment. All right. So to answer the question, well, Soberman, when he sat me down, he says, and for those who don't know, Soberman is the name, and I actually told the story, but that's what we call my AA sponsor here on the Prince Magnum channel. And I've had other sponsors since Soberman, but Soberman is sponsoring me again, and I couldn't be happier. He's the only one because of, where I am and all that other stuff. He's actually the one that, if you will, he's the only one that really knows how to deal with my, me being in, where I'm going with the Prince Magnum channel. He's the only one that really knows how to deal with me, I would say, in sobriety. All righty. So now that we've discussed that, oh, you got your blanket? Well, everybody, could you go get one of my pocket knives real quick so we could do this in the live stream? We're live right now.
You want to do it now?
Yes, because Third Gen's been waiting patiently for you. He's excited to see. Guys, let's take a moment here And I want to take a moment and thank our dear friend Third Gen 83 before I even open this box, because I know I'm going to love it. And let me say right now that actually, honey, right over there near the white tub. Oh, okay. Everyone's already hollering at you. And everyone's telling you hi, honey. You can't hear her, but she's saying hi. She's all the way in the kitchen. See what I mean? And right there, that tells you how much, man, talk about blessings. Talk about blessings. Everyone's saying hi and everyone's all excited for you. Right over there is a knife that I was working on.
I see it.
I was gonna say get the small one. The other one I got to work on it a little bit more. Okay. So, we got our box here.
I'm doing it because I don't want you to freaking hurt yourself.
I'm not gonna hurt myself. I'm good with a blade.
You know what you're not good with?
What?
Car batteries.
Oh my goodness. Mr. Cartoon, I don't need you. Right. And you get out here in the real world, in the free world, and of all the things, people kind of, yeah. There we go. Oh, man.
Do the little one first.
Oh, my God. I know what he sent me. Oh, my gosh. Look at all of this. Oh, my gosh. Look at that. A plaque Project Spirit. Oh, my gosh. And I know this isn't cheap. Look at that, guys.
Is it a magnet? Stick them up.
No, on here. You need.
This is a magnet right there. That's a magnet. If it was a magnet, it would have connected to the watch.
Man, this is awesome. Hang on here. We could get magnetic stuff.
Oh my God! Is it? It's a.
Look at this,
Wow!
guys. Third Gen 83 sent me a brand new steering wheel for Project Spirit. Look at that. A brand new steering wheel for Project Spirit.
Wow.
There's the horn button. Right there. Look at that. The 3-spoke style. Wow. Look at that. And
that's part of the hardware for this.
And part of the hardware that'll help mount everything. Oh, man. Wow.
Well, this completely trumps everything that I just got you today. I bought you food.
Well, no, that's good. Thank you, dear. Look at that, guys.
I'm teasing, of course.
Look at that. A brand new steering wheel for Project Spirit. Man, oh man, and it's the right size.
Does it feel all right?
Yes. Oh man, it feels amazing in the hands. I cannot wait to get this in there. What is Project Spirit? Now that's a good question. Honey, since we're talking about blessings here on the channel, we need to move Project Spirit where they can get a good look at her.
I'm not doing it.
Well, no, you're going to have to hold the camera.
I can do that.
Yeah.
I don't want.
Man, look at that.
Can I steal Project Spirit? Nah. You can't
good luck.
Exactly ask permission.
That's what the hell? Look at that.
Prince Magnum Soldier. Did you just bop yourself in the face with it?
Yes, I don't care. Shut up. Gamer's in here. Oh my gosh. Everyone's all excited.
Make Prince go boom.
Yeah, aircraft remover.
Alright. If the viewers want, the viewers get.
Hey now. Look at that. Man, isn't that awesome? No, Bob. Guys, oh man, I'm actually getting all worked up here, trying not to start breaking down on y'all, but 13.8, man, that is awesome. What? That is awesome.
How about name your next car Project Faye?
Well, everyone, Queen saying hi.
Oh, hi, Queen.
All right, gang. Man, that is awesome. That is awesome.
Project Lena. She is way.
Yeah, we got Project Lena coming up. You'll get to see her briefly. But since we're talking about blessings here on the channel, where is that? That piece is back in here? Yes, I feel it. That was all that was in. Wow.
A big box for a little piece. Ugh.
Oh, the butt housing. Okay, it goes in behind everything. Yeah. Man, thank you. Thank you, Third Gen. I appreciate that, man. That means the world to me. We need to go. You guys ask for it. Well, we'll get to the. If he sticks around long enough, he'll get his wrench. He knows. You know how the drill is. He'll get his wrench long enough. Basically, guy came in and had kind of one of those names you probably shouldn't have, and everyone thought he was a troll, but he's been nothing but cool.
Is it the Prince Magnum Soldier?
Yeah, and he went and changed his name quick.
What was his name originally?
And he had been in prison for 10 years. So it was one of those deals. You know, you remember how we heard, you know, someone, you know, we've heard how that goes, okay? Mm-hmm. Okay, so we're going to take a walk downstairs. I'm scared of the dark. Somebody hold me. All right, gang, you're going to love this. Since, you know, let me tell y'all right now, before I do this, sobriety has given me a wonderful wife, and then sobriety turned around, and this wonderful wife, you know, because sobriety gave me a wonderful wife, this wonderful wife then turns around and gives me that down there. Let's fire her up. There you go. Look at that. All right, we're going to turn this around. Keep her down there if you would. You don't have to move that far, honey.
He dropped his keys.
All right.
There you go. That's Lena right there. I'm about to do new pinstripes on it. Yes, Magnum does know who Adam West is. Hi, Gotans. I'm alright. Better now that I'm home from work. I stopped at Walmart, picked myself up a new blanket. I have a blanket addiction. He says, let's try that again. That was his fault. Just a really fluffy throw blanket. There we go. That was much better. I'm surprised he didn't pull into this parking spot. That's what I thought he was going to do. I think we are the noisy neighbors, Mr. Cartoon. I forgot that I can walk over this way because my router's right here.
Boy, she was a...
That was a good one. That's probably the best one you've ever done.
Yeah, she kind of kicked around a little bit.
You couldn't really tell. At least I couldn't.
I could feel it in the back end. For our dear friend, who now calls himself Prince Magnum Soldier, and for Cookie Vision, this is Project Spirit.
And that's a new scratch.
Don't worry, it'll buff out. It'll buff out. This is Project Spirit, my 1975 Ford Maverick. If you will, this is one of the greatest blessings that a husband can ask for, when basically my wife gave me basically bought me my project car. And I drive this car to and from work every day. One of the great blessings of sobriety has given me is a wife that'd be willing to do this. And let me tell you all, alcoholism in the bottom of my cups took away my ability to work on cars, to enjoy them.
Block, you need to start being a little bit nice there.
What happened?
He's trying to say you suck at burnouts.
Ha! Easy does it, brother. She just woke up and I'm too busy getting excited here. So yeah, I had me a mishap there. That's why I was like, wait a minute, we could do better than that. So that's why we did that. And don't forget, Blucky, this is still an original inline six from the 70s. They weren't exactly known for
Bluck. He says, what a joke. But he also followed it up with an LOL.
Oh, okay.
Third Gen says, sorry, it's not a magnet, but you can put a magnet on it or glue it to something. That little spacer may not be required, but he sent it just in case.
Well,
Bluck says, I think he means joking, but he says jockeying. Love you, Bluck.
If he's on a computer and going too fast, you know how it is. But anyhow.
She'll buff. Think Different says she'll buff. Third Gen says, my gift to celebrate your 14 years of sobriety.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much. So this is the project car that Princess Faye bought me.
Mr. Cartoon says, what if I call you during the stream?
I will have to decline your phone call until after the stream.
I don't think it interferes with the stream, so you're fine.
All right. So there you have it. So you guys asked the question, you got the answer to that. Let's get back upstairs.
It's my group now.
Oh, stop it. 'Cause I'll turn it back towards you, and you don't like that.
No, nobody wants to see this.
So that is awesome that I have that, the project car now. Everyone knows Project Spirit now. So. Okay, you eat your tiny tacos. I'll regular.
I got you normal tacos, and I think I got you an egg roll.
Hey. Hey, Project Spirit looks good after all this time. Let me tell you, brother. Because most of the Mavericks, she'd go to yeah.
There we go.
Thank you, dear. All righty. Thank you, babe. Man. Oh, you want tiny. No, Third Gen 83 works hard for every last dime he's got. He works very hard. He's a hardworking guy. And he himself, if you guys ever go over to Third Gen 83s, you'll see why he knows his stuff on his. He knows a great deal about Mavericks. So I already know it's going to happen. Oh man, I'm all excited. I can't wait. There you go. All right, so let's get back to the task at hand.
Sorry, I forgot you. They didn't have the smoke ones though, so I just got the plain.
Actually, I'm not a big fan of. I don't usually do T-tops or convertibles. I like my hard tops. The reason why is because I'm usually doing something stupid in those cars. Maybe one of these days when I decide to slow down a little bit, yeah, you guys are gonna love what he's got on his. It's not an exact channel, but he's got some neat stuff up about about his 73 Ford Maverick. And it's a gorgeous looking ride, gorgeous looking ride. But it's getting so hard to find two doors nowadays that the four doors are about all you're going to find. But that's all right. We like Project Spirit can be a four door. She's perfect for family, and I have 5 kids. Thank you so much. That was awesome. Yes, I do love the Punisher. Oh man, so I totally get it. So here we go. So let me talk about now that I started talking about working the steps. Well, I'm just so excited. It's like I want to start putting stuff together here, but man, uh, got to unbox some stuff in this live stream, and made some new friends, and a Red Bull. It's been many years since I had a Red Bull. Yeah, you could send me one if you want. And then on top of that, man, you guys, I gotta take a moment. I don't know how much y'all understand. Before I got sober, you've all heard the story where, I was going to end it all, and everything like that. Where in sobriety, before my sobriety had a chance to start, and then I get sober, and some years later I start the Prince Magnum channel, and here we are today, and we come in here. I go live or make videos, and trying to make a living on YouTube, to where I can, because eventually my wife's going to lose her hearing after the car accident that she had, and as time has gone on, the channel's gotten bigger, started taking on a life of its own, and I've made so many of you have become friends, and you come in here and you support me, and then to get to have another one of you basically send me gifts for you guys are starting to send me gifts for my car, and you guys, I don't know if y'all are beginning to understand how much stuff like this means to me. The fact that, I set out to try to make a positive effect in the world, and try to and that sort of thing. You know, Here we are today. I started the print, I really pushed. That's right, he does. He does. And I know exactly how we're going to do it too. I know how we're going to do it. You guys don't know how much all of this means to me. That, when you get sober, you have no idea where you're going to go in sobriety. All you know is that you're just trying to put one foot in front of the other, trying to make a positive change in your life. And, soldier, I know how we're going to eventually get your story out. Thank you so much, guys. I don't know if y'all... It means the world to me. Thank you, Third Gen, for continuing to remind me that blessings and sobriety still happen every day. And every one of you in this live stream right now are one of the great blessings that sobriety has given me. I have been kind enough to have a God of my understanding continue to remind me through all of you And all of you may not necessarily know my higher power, but I believe you're all acquainted with that higher power. And that's how I stay sober today, is because that higher power speaks through all of you. And the process of being able to get to that point came through working the steps. So let me talk about when I started going through the steps. Step one, we admitted we were powerless over alcohol, that our lives were unmanageable. That's pretty self-explanatory. Am I beat up enough? Finally, am I done with the life I was living? Because the way I was living wasn't living. It was existing in the bottom of a bottle. Oh, no. Here on the Prince Magnum channel, everybody's given a chance. Everybody. And I will even say right now, that troll that was hassling me, a while back, if he even gave me a shout on my email, say, hey man, I just need to talk, I would still listen to him. And that's just the way it is. I would still listen to him. Wouldn't even bring up, what happened and everything. I would just listen. And that's the way it is. That's right, Think Different. It is a beautiful day to be sober. Okay. So let me tell you all about, step two. Came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. What is insane? Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. And I had to believe that there was a power out there, something bigger, something larger than me, okay? A spirit of the universe, a cosmic force. Some people go back to their religious beliefs. I went to the religious belief that I had held since 2000. And for those that do not know, I'm pagan, okay, neo-pagan. I follow a lot of Norse traditions and a lot of Native American traditions. For those that do not know, I am Native American. There you go. See, that's awesome. That's awesome stuff. And sometimes a lot of people don't understand those inside jokes. And glad that you brought that up. So let me get back to, so that was understanding the step. Step two is I had to have that power bigger than me, much bigger than me. And then along with that, the next thing that had to happen is I had to turn my will and my life over to the care of that higher power, as I understand them. And y'all know how big step three was. And now I'm going to tell y'all. I had come to the conclusion that if Alcoholics Anonymous was not paying off by the time, within that first month, if I was not able to feel any results, I was checking out. No, I wasn't going to get drunk. Y'all know what I mean by checking out. I wasn't going to live like that anymore. So I had full intentions that if Alcoholics Anonymous was not giving results, I was done with life. I was checking out of this world. But while working step three, and y'all heard me make the joke about Sober Man telling me, I need you to read step three in the big book. Pinky Nest, thank you for being here with me. You all mean so much to me. I was laying, Sober Man, Gotans, thank you for being here with me. But let me tell you all that Princess Faye's in the other room, but I think she might actually be lurking. She lurky turkey. So as basically what Sober Man had me do in the third step is, y'all remember me making the joke, Sober Man had me read step. Yeah. Sober Man had me read step 3 in the big book, page 60 to 63, once a day for 2 weeks straight. And if I missed a day, I had to start over again on that. Basically start all over again on that 2 weeks. And of all the things, you'll hear me make that joke, but honestly, I was like, what the hell am I supposed to get out of that? I got it. By reading it, it dawned on me. Everything started clicking, and it started making sense. And it's like, because of the fog that you're in from living in that world of drunkenness for so long, and then when you first get sober, it's like there's an entire fog around your world. Everything just kind of seems like it's miles away. And when you first get sober, and so you have to read that once a day for 2 weeks straight, so it'll sink in because of that fog you're living in at that time. So now that I've said that, I understand, gamer. So now that I'm talking about that, and you guys kind of understand that's why he had me do that. I basically said, we're coming up, at the end of that 2 weeks, I'm coming up on 1 month sober to the day. Not a joke. Actually, it was, I was over a little, I was a little over that month sober. Okay. Now that I think about it. You have to excuse me that it's hard to remember that entire time frame. It was just like it all started happening all at once. But I had basically said that, if AA wasn't paying off for me, I was going to basically take myself out of this world. So in the process of doing all of that, okay. That's a good question. I'm going to answer that. Every time. Yeah. Okay. No, you asked a really good question. Every time I drank, it always seemed like, number one, I had to get drunk every time I drank. Okay. Every time I drank, for whatever reason, I had to get drunk. Okay. And if I didn't get drunk, it felt weird. Okay. And what would oftentimes happen was, even though, maybe I was like, well, I don't have to enjoy a drink. It felt weird. And the next night it was a bigger explosion of drunkenness. And then on top of every time, welcome back, gamer. And every time that I drank and got seriously drunk, something bad had to happen. And not necessarily did I have to get arrested or anything like that, because I only got pulled over one time from drinking, and I talked my way out of that. Okay, so it wasn't like I had a bunch of DWIs. It wasn't like I got arrested a lot or kept showing up and bad. It was what was happening to me in the bottom of that bottle. My family couldn't stand me. So the way that it was every time I drank, I had to get drunk. And when I did get drunk, I did things I was not proud of. And then in the process of that, I would go from what I was not proud of to feeling guilty and feeling like I had to have a drink to help me get over that guilt. So it became that vicious circle. Okay. So if you will, that's how I lived my life. And that's what I mean by living in that bottom of the bottle, because it just kept continuing like that. Now it may not be that way for you, but kind of look at it in that scope. If you can identify with that, then that's, if you can identify with what I'm talking about, maybe the details have changed. That's how you'll know. Okay. So if you have any friends that are struggling with alcoholism, and maybe you yourself, maybe you don't have that problem, but if you all of a sudden identify with that, you might want to start talking to some of your local friends in Alcoholics Anonymous. That's, you know. All righty. Basically, if you identify with what I'm talking about, you should be a little concerned. We alcoholics are everywhere. All righty. And basically, when we started talking about the third step, you know, that night before, I was going to be going over and doing the third step prayer with Sober Man. And I kind of laid there in the bed, and it's like, I honestly had to ask myself the question, do I think Alcoholics Anonymous is paying off? And the answer was a big fat frickin' yes. AA was paying off. I didn't feel like I couldn't live without alcohol anymore. I feel like maybe I had a shot. Along with that, I also felt like maybe the guy looking back at me in the mirror. There you go. See? Yep. Well, you've come to the right place because we're all friends here. You know, so, you know, I looked at myself. Thank you so much for being here for me, because you're going to find out that with the way that it works is when I'm talking to you all about sobriety, believe it or not, when people listen, it helps me stay sober. That's the real truth. So right now, everyone in here is helping me stay sober. If you're watching me in the playback, I haven't seen Sean in a couple. He says he's been having problems with his internet. So I have no idea where Sean is. Sis. For those that don't know, my little sister's in the chat right now. So my little sister, you know, is here to show love for her big brother and helping him stay sober. That is awesome. Another blessing that that sobriety has given me. That family now supports me in staying sober. All right. So now that we have, you know, basically, Gotan's just loaded a video. Awesome. Now that we've talked about that, you know, I went over and we all know. Sis. Okay. So now that we have talked about, you know, the whole thing with me, you know, getting, you know, that whole third step thing. Let me tell you all, by the time I got to the fifth step, that's when things really started kind of getting different. They say in AA that you're only as sick as your secrets. And I shared everything with Sober Man. He knows my story, including the details that I can't quite share here in a live stream. He knows the details, all the gruesome stuff. And I will tell you, he looked at me afterwards and he said, Prince Magnum, I forgive you. God forgives you. Now you have the rest of your life to yourself. And for the record, I'm still forgiving myself. 14 years later, I'm still forgiving myself for the things that I have done and the horrible things that I did. That is the honest to goodness truth. I'm still forgiving me. Okay. I know that I'm very happy about sobriety and the fact that Sober Man was kind enough to lead me through the steps. If he watches this, Sober Man, thank you for leading me through the steps. I know you don't need thanks. You'll tell me that the thanks has been, you know, to lead you through the steps because I helped you stay sober too. No, thank you. I know right now there's a lot of people around the world that are thanking you for leading me through the steps, you know. Let me share with you guys the fifth step promises in the Alcoholics Anonymous Big Book, and you'll understand where I was coming from. Because and we're going to actually have to read the promises a lot of times, you know, at certain points in the book, and you guys will kind of get exactly what I'm talking about. And the fifth step promises are on page 75. And it kind of goes like this. Once we have taken this step, withholding nothing, we are delighted. We can look the world in the eye. We can be alone at perfect peace and ease. Our fears fall from us. We begin to feel the nearness of our Creator. We may have had certain spiritual beliefs, but we begin to have a spiritual experience. The feeling the drink problem has disappeared will often come strongly. We feel we are on the broad highway, walking hand in hand with the spirit of the universe. Queen Bee asked, how in the world, in a world of alcohol all around me, can I live in recovery with the temptations? When I took and did an honest to goodness, thorough fourth step, and then I sat down and basically told the God of my understanding. In the fourth, in the fifth step, we admitted to God, to ourselves, and to another human being the exact natures of our wrongs. When I basically said to my Creator, this is what I did, even though my Creator already knew what I did, I was open and honest, didn't withhold anything, told my Creator, this is who I was. And then I told, I looked at myself in the mirror and read my fourth step in the mirror. You want to talk about painful? I cried like a baby. I'm not going to lie. And then I sat down with Sober Man. And I started talking about what I had done, the horrible things that I had done and the places that I had been. And then when Sober Man looks at me and says, Prince Magnum, I forgive you. God forgives you. Now you have the rest of your life to forgive yourself. When he did that, it was like this great big weight had been lifted off my shoulders. Everything I needed to hear was right there. Everything. I didn't have to worry. It was okay. I was going to be all right. That's the real deal. That's what's up, if you will. I knew the drink problem wasn't going to be there anymore. That I knew I never had to drink again if I didn't want to. I didn't have to drink if I didn't want to. I finally felt like I had a choice if I wanted to drink or not. I finally felt like I had that choice. Before, I didn't feel like I had the choice. Hi, honey. I finally felt like I had the choice to drink, and I don't want to drink. And I don't mention that necessarily here, and I probably should mention it more in Sober Talk. I mean, yes, it's still a life and death thing. I still think about a drink every now and again, and that sort of thing. I still think about, having a drink. But I have a choice whether or not I want to pick up today. So yes, it's still a miracle whether or not, it's still, it's still there. It's still alive and well, but I have a choice today. And that's where it began in that fifth step. Because I was honest about who I was. I wasn't keeping it all in. And that is huge for me. That is what it's all about. That today I have a choice. And then when you fast forward to step 10, now this is, everyone in AA, they tout those 9-step promises. And I always tell them, I said, we hear the 9-step promises all the time, and those are great. Those are great promises. But what about the 10th step promises, or the 5th step promises, or the 3rd step promises? And they're all looking at me like, I don't know those promises, but they're so big and so exciting. How could you not know them? So when you fast forward to, hey honey, you okay?
Put to sleep.
What's asleep? When you fast forward to page hang on, we'll actually talk about this, the stream schedule, okay? We'll talk about the stream schedule this week. All right, we'll get to that a little closer to the end of the stream because we do that. Kind of fill in everybody in of what's going on, okay? My beautiful wife. All righty, so let me get to the 10th step promises. The 10th step promises are huge for me too. And they start on page 84 and go over to 85. Literally, this is in our book, self-titled Alcoholics Anonymous. And it goes like this. And we have ceased fighting anything or anyone, even alcohol. For by this time, sanity will have returned. We will seldom be interested in liquor. If tempted, we recoil from it as from a hot flame. We react sanely and normally, and we will find that this has happened automatically. We will see that our new attitude towards liquor has been given to us without any thought or effort on our part. It just comes. That is the miracle of it. We are not fighting it, neither are we avoiding temptation. We feel as though we have been placed in a position of neutrality, safe and protected. We have not even sworn off. Instead, the problem has been removed. It does not exist for us. Neither are we or are we afraid. This is our experience. That is how we react as long as we keep in fit spiritual condition. And that is the promises in the 10th step. When you take all the steps at this point from 1 through 10 seriously, and you work them with a sponsor, you get a home group, and all the things that that we do in Alcoholics Anonymous, when you do that honestly and thoroughly all the way up to this to step 10, this is the promises that come with it. Okay, that's huge, that's big. Okay, that you can have this too, that you've been placed in that position where you feel safe and protected. You don't have to swear it off. Alcohol exists, yes, but you're like, I'm okay. I don't have to have it. That's wonderful, isn't it? Gamer Saturday streams are the best. I love you, brother. I love you guys so much. You guys are awesome. We'll get to all righty. Oh my gosh, you guys are awesome. Now, Queen, to finally truly get to your question, on page 100, this really breaks it down because this is the actual chapter, working with others. Okay, on page 100, and it goes like this. Yep. Oh, you're gonna love it. You're gonna love Saturdays. All right. Queen B, you asked the question how I deal with being around alcohol, because there's even video where I've been in bars on stage doing karaoke. And I know you've seen those videos of me being on stage singing karaoke, singing Kiss songs, or I got my arm around Princess Faye and singing Hello Again by Neil Diamond, which is our actual wedding song. As a matter of fact, we had our reception in a bar, and Princess Faye and I have been married over 6 years. So I go into these places. How do I do it? This is how. Even after all this time, I still give this the test right out of the book. Okay? This is the test. Oh, you're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. I'll post a lot of those videos to the Discord because there's a lot of videos of me on stage singing. I'll warn you, the audio's not the greatest, but the performance is there, and trust me, it's worth it. I won't do it in a live stream because I save that for actual personal appearances, and YouTube likes to give copyright strikes for every freaking thing. Fuck you, YouTube. Anyhow, I'm sorry. I should not cuss in the live streams. There's ladies present. I shouldn't be cussing. Okay. All righty. All right. You guys are going to love this. Starting on page 100. Assuming we are spiritually fit, we could do all sorts of things alcoholics are not supposed to do. People have said we must not go where liquor is served. We must not have it in our homes. We must shun friends who drink. We must avoid moving pictures which show drinking scenes. We must not go into bars. Our friends must hide their bottles if we go into their houses. We mustn't think or be reminded about alcohol at all. Our experience shows that this is not necessarily so. We meet these conditions every day. An alcoholic who cannot meet them still has an alcoholic mind. There is something the matter with his spiritual status. His only chance for sobriety would be someplace like the Greenland ice cap, where even an Eskimo might turn up with a bottle of scotch and ruin everything. Okay? Ask any woman who has sent her husband to a distant places on the theory that he would escape the alcohol problem. In our belief, any scheme of combating alcoholism which proposes to shield the sick man from temptation is doomed to failure. If the alcoholic tries to shield himself, he may succeed for a time, but he eventually winds up with a bigger explosion than ever. We have tried these methods. These attempts to do the impossible have failed. So our rule is not to avoid a place where there is drinking if we have a legitimate reason for being there. That includes bars, nightclubs, dance clubs, bars, nightclubs, dances, receptions, weddings, even plain old ordinary whoopee parties. For those that do not understand the word, basically it's when they're talking about plain old ordinary whoopee parties, basically where you go and you go to a party and you have a good time. That's what they're actually referring to. So there was a time that the term whoopee was just basically a good time, whoopee, like that. So think about it like that. To a person who has had experience with an alcoholic, this may seem like tempting province, but it isn't. You will note that we made an important qualification. Therefore, ask yourself on each occasion, have I any good social, business, or personal reason for going to this place? Or am I expecting to steal a little vicarious pleasure from the atmosphere of such places? If you have answered these questions satisfactorily, you need not have no apprehension. Go or stay, whichever seems the best. Be sure you are on solid spiritual ground before you start, and your motives in going is thoroughly good. Do not think of what you will get out of the occasion. Think of what you can bring to it. But if you are shaky, you had better work with another alcoholic instead. Why sit with the long face in places where there is drinking, sighing about the good old days? If it is a happy occasion, try to increase the pleasure of those there. If a business occasion, go and attend your business enthusiastically. If you're with a person who wants to eat in a bar, by all means, go along. Let your friends know they're not going to change Let your friends know they are not to change their habits on your account. At a proper time and place, explain to all of your friends why alcohol disagrees with you. If you do this thoroughly, few people will ask you to drink. While you were drinking, you were withdrawing from life little by little. You are now getting back into the social life of this world. Don't start withdrawing again because your friends drank liquor. Your job is to be at the place where you may be of maximum helpfulness. So never. Your job is now to be in the place where you may be of maximum helpfulness to others. So never hesitate to go anywhere where you can be helpful. You should not hesitate to visit the most sore spot on earth on such an errand. Keep on the firing line of life with these motives, and God will keep you unharmed. Many of us keep liquor in our homes. We often need it in carrying green recruits through a severe hangover. Some of us still serve it to our friends, provided they're not alcoholic. But some of us think we should not serve liquor to anyone. We never argue this question. We feel that each family, in the light of their own circumstances, ought to decide this for themselves. We are careful never to show intolerance or hatred of drinking as an institution. Experience shows that such an attitude is not helpful to anyone. Every new alcoholic looks for the spirit among us and is immensely relieved when he finds he is not that we are not witch burners. A spirit of intolerance might repel alcoholics whose lives could have been saved if it had not been for such stupidity. We would not even do cause of temperate drinkers drinking any good if not for one drinker in 1,000 likes to be told about alcohol by anyone who hates it. Someday we hope that Alcoholics Anonymous will help the public to a better realization of the gravity of the alcoholic problem. But we shall be of little use if our attitude is one of bitterness and hostility. Drinkers will not stand for it. After all, our problems were of our own making. The bottles were only a symbol. Besides, we have stopped fighting everybody or everything. We have to. That's actually okay. So, in other words, by going through the 12 steps and working the steps with a sponsor out of this book, that is how I've come to the point where I don't feel like, let me say it right now. If we've been talking about once this pandemic is over, we all want to get together. We want to have a great big cookout. Let me say right now, and Gamer will get his cake that day. I know we will. Huh? What was that, baby?
He'll get a cake, but it won't be made by you.
Did you hear that, Gamer? She's Princess Face said, "You'll get your cake, but it won't be made by me."
Can I have Galaxy?
Galaxy?
I want Galaxy.
Oh, come here for just a second. This is one of our cats, Galaxy, and she's another one of our blessings here on the Prince Magnum channel. We all love Galaxy.
She's never seen you drunk.
Yep. So that is, basically I've been placed in that position in my sober life where I don't have to have a drink. No, that is just Galaxy. That is our pet Galaxy who helps us, he's Galaxy is our beautiful cat that just loves to, that helps, Gamer, you ornery ass. Yeah, Princess, for the record, Princess Faye, what that whole thing about. Princess Faye has basically forbade me to bake, and that is one of the running gags here on the channel. Gamerin keeps saying he wants me to bake a cake, and Princess Faye is like, no, you are not baking a cake, because that is the last area of the kitchen you have yet to take over. Because anytime you see us, that is actually perfectly okay in the country that he is in. That is actually a commonplace. Yeah, Princess Faye does all the she won't let me. Yeah. So to answer you guys' question, I am able to alcohol because of what Alcoholics Anonymous has given me. And I will say right now, basically it's like one of the things that I had to do is I had to change the definition of a drink. Okay. This is coffee. This is a drink to me. Every now and again, I enjoy a root beer, A&W root beer. I love A&W root beer. That is a drink to me. A glass of water is a drink to me. Alcohol is not a drink to me. I had to change the definition of a drink. So if I'm going to have a drink, I'm going to have, most likely, you all hear me say it, I got to have my coffee. That's a drink to me nowadays. A nice cup of coffee. Okay. I don't drink alcohol. Alcohol doesn't agree with me. It makes me come to in strange places and sometimes wake up with strange women. Wait a minute. Honey, some things haven't changed. Anyhow. Well, that's up to Princess Faye if she wants to, right? You gotta have coffee. So now that we've talked about that, let me say right now, okay, that let me say right now, if we do have that big cookout, hey, I'm just gonna say it. I like to be spanked. Anyhow, let me say right now that if we were all hanging out and let me say that if like Queen Bee, say you and Princess Faye wanted to have a drink, and then I would actually be offended by that. I would actually be offended. Don't hide your drink for me. Have one for me. You've all heard me say that. You've all heard me say that. If you can enjoy a drink, have one for me. Have two, and celebrate my sobriety. I understand, soldier. But yeah, honestly, I'm one that, as a matter of fact, let me tell you all a funny story. Back when I was 2 years sober, and you all have, that's not it. That's definitely not it. Somewhere in my mess over here is my 2-year sobriety coin. And a lot of y'all call that the cursed coin. Because Sober Man and I are the only ones who've been able to touch that coin and not relapse or go back to drinking, or worse yet, end up 6 feet under from a relapse. So Sober Man and I are the only ones who've been able to touch it without without going back to drinking. So now that I've said that, when I was 2 years sober, I was in oh, okay. I am actually from Missouri, a small town in the middle of Missouri called Bonne Terre. And it's just a little bitty town. Most people can't even find it on the map. Ironically enough, on top of that, I'm actually one of the other gifts that Alcoholics Anonymous has given me is I'm actually friends with the police department. Of all the things, I'm actually friends with the police department. I actually know the police chief in Bonne Terre. Really nice guy. He at one time used to have when I first met the police chief, he actually had a 1970 Monte Carlo, gorgeous looking car. What's going on, Gavin John? Good to see you, buddy. Sober Talk Live. Woohoo! Yeah. For the record, I've actually had the opportunity to talk to Gavin John through Facebook Messenger, and just a really, you want to smoke? No, that's dead. But yeah, this is This is what oftentimes gets called the cursed coin. You're not missing much. You're not missing much there. Missouri is actually yeah. Sean's MIA again. So Missouri used to be a really great state, but now it's just a communist state, Honey. Yeah. Your dream car. I mean, with sardine cans, I guess, I would feel scrunched in that thing. It scares me. Okay. But yeah, you're not a very, yeah, I understand, honey. I only know of one type of smart car, tiny. I always ask whenever I see a smart car, where's the lawnmower deck on it? Anyhow, I'm sorry, I shouldn't be like that. But anyhow, yeah, it's literally just a little tiny car. Actually, I've been through Illinois, and Illinois is actually a really pretty state. You guys had, Illinois is a really beautiful state. I have to say that Illinois is a really, really pretty state. For those who do not know, the Prince Magnum channel is credited with 2 rescued cats, and the very first one that we had, we actually took this cat all the way up to Illinois to his new family, Spike. And you guys got a very beautiful state. Beautiful, gorgeous state. Absolutely amazing. You must be up near the Great Lakes. You're up near the Great Lakes. Yep. But yeah, Missouri used to be a real pretty state at one time. But yes, during my time when I was 2 years sober, and here you go, the cursed coin, the cursed 2-year coin that everyone is always so afraid of. This is it. Everybody who's ever touched this 2-year coin, except for 2 people, have went back to drinking, and in some cases, they didn't make it back at all. They're gone. Yeah. So I'm one of the few that have actually carried this coin. Still alive, my man, still alive. That's right. So right there, this coin actually, matter of fact, the first person it was given to did not make it back. He's gone. And in a lot of cases, yeah, there have been others that have held this coin and they're gone. As a matter of fact, a guy I was sponsoring, he actually, there you go. There was a guy that I was sponsoring, and he's been gone now 4 years. And he's been gone for 4 years, and him and I were talking, and I showed him this coin. I said, because he was so special to me, I showed him this coin. And I handed it to him. I said, if you make it to 2 years, this belongs to you. About a week later, yeah, I miss him too. He actually held this coin, and about a week later, he didn't make it back. I didn't even give it to him. He just held it. He didn't make it back. And I mean, there's a whole story behind it, but basically, yeah. So a lot of people call this the cursed coin. Anyhow, so around 2 years sober, I'm in this bar, and this bar doesn't even exist anymore. And I'm there to sing karaoke. I'd already been upstate on stage, and I had sung Deuce by Kiss. I probably should. I hope you make it home. Hope you make it home, soldier. Where was I? I was, so I would go there to this one bar, and I would get up on stage and I would sing karaoke. And I had already been up on stage and had sung Deuce by Kiss. And it was awesome. Had a great time. Get up there, and would just rock out and everything. And, and then afterwards, I would go up to the bar and I would order a Diet Coke. That was every day, that I went into this bar for karaoke. I would go up on stage, and as soon as I got done, and I would go up to the bar, and I would order a Diet Coke. Well, of all the things, this one day, the head bartender, and I forget her name, she was so sweet. She comes over and says, Prince Magnum, I have a question for you. Says, every day that you're in here, you come up to this bar and you order a Diet Coke, but you never order alcohol. You're in a bar, and I'm just curious, why don't you drink? I loves you too, honey. I loves you too. Why don't you drink? And I said, that's a good question. And I basically set this coin. I set this coin on the bar. She picks it up and looks at it and says, what the hell are you doing here? And I said, I'm here because I like to sing karaoke. Thank you for being here for me. Thank you for being here for me. Be sure that you come back, if you get a chance, because we're, I'm going to give out the schedule real quick. Let me give the schedule real quick, soldier, before you take off. Let me give you the schedule real quick, and then I'll finish the story. Every Thursday we go, oh, you're still here? Okay. All right, let me finish the story then, and then we need to start considering winding it down, because I don't like to go over the 2-hour marker unless I just got to do it. I just got to do it. All right, awesome. I thought you were taking off. I was like, okay, well, if you got to take off, you got to take off. But real quick, basically, this bartender is like, "What are you doing here?" Looking at this 2-year coin, and I said, "I'm here because I like to sing. I enjoy the karaoke, and I have such a good time." And she's like, "But isn't it temptation?" And I kind of lean against the bar. I said, "Take a look around you. What do you see?" She said, "I see a bunch of drunk son of a bitches." Excuse my language. And I said, "Really? That's not what I see." And she's like, "What do you see?" I said, "I see a bunch of 12-step calls." And she starts laughing. She said, "You know what? You're all right in my book. This Diet Coke is on me." Yep. True story. And it was about a month later, I'm in there to sing karaoke. And I come up, I got off stage, and I think I had just gotten through singing "Calling Dr. Love" by Kiss. I love to sing Kiss songs. And I come off stage, and I go up to the bar, and I said, "I need a Diet Coke, please." And this head bartender, "What's going on, Mystical Dorcas?" All right, real quick, let me say it. Mystical Dorcas is one of our dear friends in here on the Prince Magnum channel. Absolutely a wonderful person. Just really sweet. And she was we actually became friends last year as part of the Prince Magnum channel. The Prince Magnum channel started really growing. I'll tell Princess Faye you said hi. And so she really became part of that big growth that we had last year, and we have been dear friends ever since. And I need to get over and see her a little bit more often. I've just been so busy trying to figure out what I can do to help everyone stay positive during this pandemic. So, Mystical, I'm so sorry. I need to get over and see you more often, but I've been so busy, and I apologize because you're just one of the sweetest gals ever, And I know you deal with a lot of craziness in your life, but you know what? You still manage to be so doggone sweet to even guys like me, After all the horrible things I did over 14 years ago, I have so many blessings, so many wonderful friends like all of you. But yeah, back to what I was talking about. I'll tell Princess Bay you said hi, Mystical. Let me tell you, and don't forget, Mystical, drop the link to your channel in the chat. Okay, that's why you got the wrench. One of the reasons why you got the wrench. But let me tell you all, about a month later, that same bartender that was all, like, "What are you doing here? What are you doing here? If you're a member of Alcoholics Anonymous." And I had to explain to him, that I'm here because I want to, I love to sing. And so a month later, I'm in there singing karaoke again, same bar. And I'm getting ready to go up to the bar and get my Diet Coke as usual. And I walk up, and there's a new bartender. And I said, "I'll have a Diet Coke, please." And the head bartender is training this new bartender. And this is the same bartender that I showed the 2-year coin to. And she comes walking, she walks up and says, "You see this guy right here?" And she says, "Yes." She said, "This is our guy, Prince Magnum. And I love the way he sings. And he's also a sober member of Alcoholics Anonymous." Thank you so much. I appreciate that. There you go. It says he's a sober member of Alcoholics Anonymous, and we love him very much. That being said, he comes up here to the bar and orders a Diet Coke every time he's here. He'll order a couple of different he'll order a couple of Diet Cokes the entire time he is here. If he ever comes up to this bar and orders alcohol, you do not serve it to him. If you serve him alcohol, I will fire you on the spot. She said this to a bartender. A bartender. Basically the head bartender told her new bartender, if you serve Prince Magnum alcohol, I will fire you on the spot. And I'm standing there like, I cannot even relapse like a normal person. I can't even relapse like a normal alcoholic if I wanted to. So already, even all the way back then, the blessings of sobriety were apparent. And that should tell you how powerful Alcoholics Anonymous is in my life, that I cannot relapse like a normal alcoholic. And I am meant to be sober for a reason. I'm meant to pass on what has been given freely to me in Alcoholics Anonymous. For the record, though, I'm going to say this for the first time that I can think of, I don't think I've ever said this here on the channel. I do not own my sobriety. I do not own my sobriety. I am just appointed guardianship. My sobriety belongs to the program of Alcoholics Anonymous, and it belongs to all of you. Every last one of you. It belongs to all of you. That being said, that is my story. I mean, you've heard my story for the last couple of weeks about sobriety. My story doesn't belong to me. It belongs to all of you. I'm just appointed guardianship. And I'm perfectly okay with that. But in order to keep that guardianship, I have to stay sober. And sometimes to carry the message, I have to go into the lion's den. I'll have to go into a bar or be around alcohol. And I'm doing fantastic during this pandemic. Mystical, I had a miracle happen to me today. I woke up today and I found it not necessary to take a drink. Any day that happens, it is still truly a miracle. It's a great day to be sober. And again, for those who do not know my sober day, sober February 7th, 2006. So as of February 7th of this year, it has been 14 years since my last drink. And I'm very, very proud of my sobriety. I'm very proud of my sobriety. I'm proud that I'm one of the blessed ones that didn't have to die, that is what it's all about. Each day above ground is truly a blessing in sobriety. And I have all of you that continue to help me stay sober today. Every last one of you out there. You guys are amazing. Every one of you. And I can't thank you all enough for being here with me today and helping me stay sober just another 24 hours. Again, don't ever feel like you have to hide your drinking from me. Don't ever feel like, if you enjoy a drink, have one for me. Have two for me. But if you ever feel like Prince Magnum, my alcoholism I think I might be an alcoholic. You know that I'm only a phone call away. Y'all know to shoot me an email. I'll send you my phone number. And you guys know that I will be absolutely glad to listen to you. You'll get to hear the famous line, give me 5 minutes of your time. Just give me 5 minutes of your time. For the record, I'll have to tell that story again. We're going to tell that story tomorrow in tomorrow's live stream. Okay, so that brings us to where we do need to start winding this down. We need to wind this down. Let me tell you that for those of you right now who are interested Wow. Yeah, I'm getting ready to eat. Well, Mr. Soldier, sir, I appreciate you being in here. I mean, this is the very first live stream that you have ever been in since lockdown. Wow. And of all the places, you picked this one. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart that you were kind enough to come in here and listen to me talk about sobriety. And you got to see Project Spirit, and you got to even meet my wife. That is absolutely amazing that of all the places you came here. That is I am the blessed content creator because I have all of you. If you give me just a moment here, Prince Magnum Soldier, I am going to do something that I feel before we get to the schedule part. Let me jump into my own live stream and let me give you my email address. I'm going to drop my email into the live stream, and you can contact me through email. And if you need somebody to talk to, do know that when you contact through email, as soon as I know it's you, I will be glad to send you. I will send you my phone number. You can actually call and talk to me anytime you need to. Okay, so there we go. Normally, Sean does this for me. Doggone it. Sean, where are you? Someone send out smoke signals for Sean. Doggone it. There you go. All righty. Yeah, we're getting to the office joke, Cameron. We're getting to the office joke. Hang tight. Breathe in, breathe out. Okay, total of 13 likes. My goodness. All righty. So let's talk about the rest of this week's schedule going into next week. Tomorrow is Fancy Fridays. And on Fancy Fridays, basically, it is a live stream where I will get done up in a suit and give away romance tips for surviving romance. For those who are not familiar, surviving romance is an entire dedication to my wife. At the same time, while giving away tips, romance tips to all of the, husbands, boyfriends, fiancés, however it works in your life, giving away those romance tips for them. Okay, so that is Fancy Friday. And of course, doing a suit and tie, always. There you go, Mystical. 10 years? My goodness. I've been with Princess Faye for 10 years, but we've been married for over 6. So tomorrow is Fancy Friday, and I will be dressing up in a suit and tie. And that live stream is 7 o'clock Central Standard Time, US. For the record, pretty much, unless it's an impromptu live stream or something like that, every live stream is at 7 o'clock Central Standard Time. Maybe it's a few minutes early, a few minutes late, but it's always around that time. So just expect 7 o'clock Central Standard Time. So tomorrow is I would love to hear your story. Okay. And I will be glad to talk to you, and I'd love to hear your story. And then, of course, Saturday nights is Sexy Saturday. For those that are not familiar with Sexy Saturdays, that is the live stream where we go live at 7 o'clock Central Standard US, and Princess Faye slathers my face in drag makeup. Not a joke. My wife will put me in drag makeup, and I will make every guy. And basically, I act. I go out of my way to make. And that is Sexy Saturday. Sexy. And that is every Saturday. My wife puts me in drag makeup, and we have a blast in here. Uh, and the moderators are in force that day because we have had people that came in like, "What the hell did I just walk into?" And they immediately and the big thing is that we have a good time on Saturday nights because I will play the part. I mean, I will pose and everything else, but in this makeup, and we have a blast. For the record, my boss at work, every time I show her any video footage from the live stream from Sexy Saturdays, no, please. She's like, "Oh my God. Oh my God." And by the way, my boss at work, she actually, my boss at work goes around calling me Gigi Hot Lips. No, you need to see what I mean? Everyone knows. And for the record, the hair flip that they're talking about is known as the Fabulous Hair Flip. And that came, and that name for the hair flip, the Fabulous Hair Flip, that came from Queen Bee herself. She enjoys it. She laughs so hard during Sexy Saturdays that you barely see her in chat because she's laughing uncontrollably. Yep. We have so much fun on Sexy Saturdays. So Sundays, it's usually kind of up in the air. Whether hashtag airflip on Saturdays. Well, on Sundays, so that's Saturdays, and again, 7:00 U.S. Central Standard Time. Okay, depending on where you are in the world, just kind of figure that out. Okay, but yeah, we go live every day at 7:00 my time. Okay, so just kind of work with that because we also have people right now that are we actually have people right now Blucky's just being goofy. He's all over the place. That's just Blucky, yeah, by the way, Blucklight, he actually has a nickname for me. He's known as Blucky. I think it's cute and it just works. No, I'm in Missouri. So it'll be Central Standard Time is 7:00 for me. Gosh dang, it's still not, dang humidity's up and still not cool enough here. So we go live, 7:00 Central Standard Time because I live in Missouri. So I'm like, I know where you're at, Mr. Yep. So I'm a couple hours ahead of you. I'm 2 hours ahead of you. Now that I've said all of that, Sundays is usually up in the air. Weatherproof. We're probably going to go live twice Sunday. We may go live. Yeah. We have a lot of fun on Saturday nights. Sunday, I know that we're definitely going to do a Surviving Romance live stream, and weather permitting, we are definitely going to do something with Project Spirit. Okay, we're definitely going to do something with Project Spirit. I know I'm definitely probably going to send Project Spirit in to have a new steering wheel put in. That is so awesome. That is so awesome. Now, real quick, we need to talk about the fact that the Prince Magnum channel is primarily a DIY channel. We do DIY romance and we do DIY custom cars here on the channel. So let me tell you all that normally for some of the recorded content, to get those awesome shots that go out over the hood of Project Spirit or Project Lena, which is Princess Phase 2003 Pontiac, I need to get on the stick, gamer, and I need to get on the stick. I've got 13 ready. I just haven't released it. Okay, we'll talk about that shortly. Hang on. But now that hang on, where is it? Got to get it ready. Okay. Gamer, your the joke you were asking for. We're in the office. Yeah, I got it. Soldier, you're gonna love this. This is a tradition that we talk about here on the Prince Magnum channel, and at every live stream that I'm here in the office, we have to talk about it. Okay, so let me clue you in for the first time. All right. To get the awesome footage that goes out over the hood of Project Spirit or Project Lena, it comes from these awesome dash cams. They're 1080 pixel high definition cameras. Not a joke. These are really, really good cameras. Damn good cameras. So good, in fact, that we use these cameras to get footage of everything. Thank you, Queen. And I mean everything. Unfortunately, because they're dash cams, we, there's no way to mount them than any other place except, going out over the hood of Project Spirit or Project Lena. That's the only way you can mount them. So because of that, I got the idea that maybe I should make my own camera stand. Okay. So what I did was I went in behind Prince Magnum Channel HQ, and there's this entire patch of these little trees. There's this there's this patch of little trees out back. So I cut down one of these trees, and normally the city comes through and cuts down all of these trees, hauls off the brush to keep the snakes down, because where I live, there's still a lot of snakes. And because we got kids in the neighborhood, That being said, I cut one of these down and decided to use the wood from this little tree, for myself. And what I did was I made my own camera stand out of some of the wood. And here's that actual camera stand, okay? This is the actual camera stand I made for the dash cams that we normally use. And what I did was I cut, trimmed down the bottom where it's nice and flush, right like that. Then I carved out this section right here, and the camera literally just lays in right like that. Perfect. But the camera lens juts off of the camera right down here at the far end. And to get where the camera lens will sit perfectly, right in here, this is where it goes. What I had to do is I had to take this file, this half moon shaped file like this, and I had to lay it right there and work it back and forth until the camera lens fit perfectly right in this little knock. So because I took this file right here and I used it on this block of wood, that must mean I am really good at filing and should try my hand at being a secretary. That's the joke. That's the joke that everyone dies for, the filing joke that has to happen here in the office. That there it is. That's like a tradition when we're here in the office. That's the filing joke. And I really did actually. Sean's been missing the filing. He lives for that joke. I'm telling you, the filing joke. It's a tradition when we're here in the office on the channel that I have to do the filing joke. It's a tradition. And then along with that, not only is that a tradition, it's also tradition now that I talk about my office chair squeaks. My office chair squeaks. And because I know all of you have a dirty mind, because I know all of you have a dirty mind, all I have to do is kind of do something suggestive with that squeak, and everyone in this chat will begin laughing uncontrollably. And this is how it goes. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. There it is. Everyone's losing it. I missed you. Go on for me. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. Everybody's dying right now of laughter. Queen's probably barely able to stop laughing. I begin to oh my gosh. Everybody's laughing uncontrollably right now. And if I made you laugh today, probably harder than you have all day, then it was well worth it. Oh my gosh. The traditions we have here on the Prince Magnum channel now. Oh my gosh. That would be funny as hell. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Don't tempt me on that. Don't tempt me on that. Whatever. Oh my God. That would be funny as hell. Oh my gosh. Don't tempt me on that because my wife would kill me. All right. Real quick. I have Aircraft Remover 13 ready. I just got to load it. For those who are not familiar with Aircraft Remover, let me tell you the story real quick. Aircraft Remover is the short series here on the Prince Magnum channel of edited content. And the way that it actually came about was when we were doing the taillight panel on Project Spirit. When we did the taillight panel on Project Spirit, we had to use a product called Aircraft Remover. And this is the can right here. Calm down, guys. Calm down. The lid's still on, okay? The lid's still on. It's okay. This is the actual can that of Aircraft Remover we used on Project Spirit. We sprayed down, basically to get the paint off of Project Spirit, we needed something strong. And this is what Aircraft Remover does. It's good for removing paint. So we sprayed down the taillight panel and then, all righty. Mystical, thank you so much for being here with us. We're getting ready to wind it down anyway, so it works out. I gotta eat something or otherwise my blood sugar is gonna drop on me. But with Aircraft Remover, yeah, it's tight and secure. We're okay. We're okay. So basically, when I was looking at the can, I'm like, Aircraft Remover, and my 80s childlike mind just immediately thought of, spraying it in a helicopter or something exploding. Well, at the end of that video, I put this whole thing. You're gonna go. I put this whole thing where I acted like I sprayed it, at a helicopter at the end of it. It's like aircraft remover. And then, boom, helicopter explodes. And that was the clip that was put at the end of the video. Well, when I showed Princess Faye, that clip for the first time, I'm laughing at it. And she's like, that is clever. That is very clever. It's funny, but it's clever. And she was like, that needs to be its own standalone video. Well, I released it as its own standalone video. Everybody thought it was hilarious. They loved it. And I'm like, great, let's do another one. Because everyone's like, well, there needs to be a part 2. I said, okay, we'll do a part 2. And then we blew up the original Enterprise. And then it just kind of kept going. So now we're all the way up to Aircraft Remover 13. And we just got to release it. And everybody loved Aircraft Remover 13. It was so much, everyone just had we love Aircraft Remover. Of course, we are getting to where we're going to be ending the original series and going into the next series. And the next series is basically Aircraft Remover, Other Uses. And I already have one of those videos up of, other uses of Aircraft Remover. And then now we'll be getting into, so I already got the first one for that series. I'm going to basically make a bunch of those and then release them. And then we've got Aircraft Remover, the 2 spoofs that we got to do. Aircraft Remover, the TV series, and Aircraft Remover, the motion picture trailer. Yeah, that's the motion picture trailer is going to be hilarious. I've already got a lot of stuff put together on it. I just got to film 2 little segments for it. It's going to be funny. It's going to be funny. All right. So now that we have talked about all of that, we need to wind this down. I've got to go take care of my blood sugar. It's getting low on me. So that brings us to our usual stopping point. I want to thank every last one of you for being in here and helping me stay sober another 24 hours. You guys are amazing. Every one of you are amazing. You guys are the Maverick Nation. And it takes over 1,000 of you to help me stay sober today. That is how awesome you are. Yes, Queen, I will go take care of me, okay? Queen B, being all motherly, trying to make sure that I'm okay. See, and that you guys take good care of me, All righty. And I want to remind you all that at day's end, real quick, before I forget, I know what I'm trying to say here. You can definitely tell my blood sugar's getting low, okay? Let me say right now, at day's end, I hope all of you need me as much as I need you. Every one of you. I need all of you. And I hope all of you still need me. That being said, for all of you out there, even in these dark times, if no one out there has told any of you that they love you today, Prince Magnum does. God bless you and have a happy 24. Thank you.